Hello and welcome back to 3D Drawing for your Model Railway. Today's episode we're going to be looking to do a bit more of the detail on this side. I was studying some photographs that Paul had sent me of both this crane 96100 and 101, and it really does matter as to which crane you're doing for things like these holes and this cable trunk in here, because on 96101 all these holes are filled up. And these horizontal pipes here are actually about this level, going through where the BR arrows are, and there's like a squiggly line, squiggly pipe that comes down to this light here. So yeah, it also changes here as well. 96100 seems to have this panel missing here at certain time periods. Now it's not all of them, but there is a time period where this black and white panel, a black and yellow panel, continues over and completely covers this up. So I don't know if this is something that's a mod that's been done, or whether it's just the panels being taken off for some sort of repair work or whatever. So yeah, it depends on what model you're doing, and obviously you can do with whatever one you prefer. And you know, if you want to just do sort of a mix between the two, you could do that, because ultimately there's only two of these cranes, and who's going to be able to stand there and look at them and tell you that what you've done is wrong? There's only probably 24 people in the whole of the UK who've actually got a good working knowledge of these cranes that's still around. So yeah, I'm going to start. I'm going to put the lights on. I think this is a horn here, possibly. I'm going to put these two circular bearings, potentially these are here. I think this is the pivot point for the jib, this one, and I'm not entirely sure what that one does. I'm going to look to draw those in today. I think, just because I think it looks interesting, I'm going to dig out this panel here. It just breaks up the side here, just makes it look a little bit more interesting, I think. So that's what I'm going to be looking to do in today's lesson. Right, so let's start by drawing these bearing holes here. So that one is in line, just offset here, so it's about that position. So we'll create a sketch on this plane, and we'll just create a circle, 0.5, a little bit here, so 0.7, but 0.6, somewhere in the middle there. Define the height. And its distance 7.75, and then we'll just extrude that through to that wall there. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is in line with those rivets, so it's about here. And height wise, it's a little bit higher. Same again, sketch on the face, about that position there, 0.6. And it's very difficult to do these when they're not on the plan. You just sort of have to go by the photos as best you can, wing it a little bit. One. It's probably diagonally in line with that corner and in line with that rivet there. So this position here. It's about here. It's just below where these are. It's small as well. Okay, so that's those 4 done. There's no more holes. What we'll do is draw this light on here. Just going to do it as a rectangle, I think, and it's just going to be off of the front of this box here. I am going to make sure it touches the side wall here, just for that added strength. So I want it attached to that side wall there. 1.3 millimeters. I'm going to do 0.7 millimeters width. Find those, so we should be able to go midpoint of that to midpoint of that. Let's constrain that to that face, and then you should be able to do the midpoints. So, define that height in case it wants that. It does. So extrude that. That wasn't particularly thick, so yeah, maybe 0.5 mil. I'm not worried. You can see the shape sort of slanted backwards, but we're looking at 0.5 mil thickness here. That you could draw like diagonal lines on here. No, let's do it. Let's do it. You will see it. It just, most people won't notice it. So we'll go from there. I'm just going to draw the line there and then constrain it to that point. See, I'm trying to find the dot here. There it is. Okay, and then we'll do the same. Constrain to that dot. That dot is basically the corner point on this box here. And then we can extrude them back to that face. And you've got that diagonal, turn around, that diagonal shape there, which will give you the effect of that spotlight. Okay, the next one we're going to have is, I think this is the horn here, so we'll draw that, and we're going to use an offset plane for that one. So that's slightly above this box here, but we will be using a offset plane. We'll offset from the front. Bring it, yeah, it's about that position there. Okay, and we'll draw on that offset plane. Okay, I'm just going to rotate this a little bit so I can see what I'm looking at here. Okay, so we're going for, I don't want the circle to not be touching this plane because it needs to print. So if I touch this, it will print better. About that position there, 0.8 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters, not 8 millimeters. See how that look. Probably needs to be higher. Okay, so we'll define position relative to there, 0.2 millimeters, and its relative height on that corner needs to go up. So probably, let's try 3.5 initially. Rotate it, have a look. So that's sitting ever so slightly above the pipe. It needs to go up a little bit more probably. So go to 4 millimeters. Okay, and we'll extrude that because I think that will look okay there. Again, just to make sure you understand why I'm intersecting this base plate. If it sits proud and prominent like this is, where it's not touching, then there's nothing supporting it when it prints. You could put supports in from the slicing software, but when you do that, you will end up scarring the surface here. So just intersecting it slightly like this will give us a better print quality from that. Turn that plan off so you can see what we're looking at. So we've got the light there, we've drawn the holes, we've drawn this. I said we were going to do these two bearings, so one here and one here. Okay, so that one's just behind that light. Again, sketch on that surface. It's quite a big one. It's about this sort of position here. 0.8 millimeters. Define its height. 4 and its position to that edge. 3 millimeters, and then we'll extrude it. It didn't come out fast, so we're only going to come out 0.1 millimeter just to give it some relief. And then the other one's up in this corner here, hidden right in this bit here. So we'll draw on that surface. Is it the same size? No, it's a bit smaller, so we'll probably go for 0.6, 0.5, something like that. Again, same as that last one, just extrude 0.1 millimeter. Okay. Okay, so the last one we'll draw is this cutout got on the corner here. See if I can find any other pictures of it. All these seem to have it. They're all taken at the same time. Again, it's here again. Yeah, so we'll add that in because I think it does look quite interesting just having that bit missing there. So we'll create a sketch on to that face there, just to check it goes roughly here, in line with that step. No, it's slightly off that step. So it's about this sort of position here. I'm not going to go to the end, I need a bit of wall thickness there. I would say it's probably roughly in line with height of that weight there. Let's say that's 2 millimeters and 3.2 millimeters. Define its position there. 0.9 thickness will give us plenty of strength on that bit, and then we'll just extrude this into the body slightly. Does it look like it goes back as far as the door? Yes. If we extrude it to that surface there, we go. I might actually just make that a little bit bigger. So by 0.5 that, 3.6 there. Okay. And then really the last thing that I've been looking at on this side is there looks like this is a door runner here. So I'm going to draw that on because it will help with the cable going up the back here, finishing. I'm not going to draw it floating, I'm going to draw like a rectangle that comes out and meets this point up here. Okay, so we'll draw a sketch on this surface. How far across does it go? Roughly in line with the end of that box. So it's only coming to about here. About there, something like that. I'm going to give it a thickness of 0.3. I'll go a little bit thicker, 0.4. Length of 3.5. And we'll define its positions. 2.5. And its height position. 0.3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select profiles and I'm going to extrude it to this panel here, tell it to join, because it looks like, actually goes in front of that panel, comes ever so slightly further forwards. Like that. Yeah, it sits on, looking at the picture, it sits on top of this panel, the door just runs along it. So yeah, that's, I would say we're pretty much getting there with this side. I can't see much else detail wise, but maybe the handle here we could draw. It looks like a handle anyhow. There's definitely something there that we maybe look at. But all this detail, I think we're pretty much done. I'm not worried about this frame here at the moment with the cable on. We'll do that once we've done the other side. Same with this red arm that suspends the pulley wheel here. We'll do them at a later date. But the rest of that side, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going to call that a day for today's lesson. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. Please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to keep notified for when the next videos go up.